Right, recorder is on. This is for the U.S. Department of Labor, Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Today is February 8th, 2018, and I am conducting an intake interview of Mr. David Lochridge. Mr. Lochridge, are you aware this interview is being recorded?
Yes.
OceanGate Expeditions offers you the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a specially trained crew member safely diving to the Titanic wreckage site. Get ready for what Jules Verne could only imagine, a 12,500-foot journey to the bottom of the sea. It's the OceanGate Titanic experience.
Welcome to Cyclops 1. As you can see here, we've got the man submersible Cyclops. This is a 5-man submersible. It's got a maximum operating depth of 500 meters. The submersible itself is based on this MS Lars unit, which is our mobile subsea launch and recovery system.
On December 29, 1970, the Occupational Safety and Health Act was signed into law, establishing a new federal agency to set and enforce workplace safety and health protections for American workers.
The only other thing that I would ask you is to answer my questions as honestly as you can and to the best of your knowledge. Will you do that for me?
No problem.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
Great.
Yes.
So I got an email from my supervisor forwarding your email where you attached your termination letter and also a quality control inspection report. So why don't we start wherever you think you need to start the story as to what happened and what led up to your termination.
No problem at all. So when I worked for the company, I was the Director of Marine Operations and also the Senior Submersible Pilot. So I was the key main pilot for the company. So basically what's happened is the company is building this new, prototype, which has never been done before successfully. They have taken bookings, so basically they're booked out for this coming summer to take people to the Titanic, which is at a depth of 4,000 meters. Basically what's happened is the company, the engineering side was initially being done by the University of Washington APL division, and then what happened was about a year and a half ago, OceanGate decided to employ their own engineering director, who the decision was made at that point for the company to drop APL. This gentleman, no experience. I basically ran the operations department, and what was happening was he then changed some of the fundamentals that APL had designed for this new carbon fibre sub, and we started receiving these items in the last couple of months. The key thing to come in, if we go to my reports, which I have issued, the hull itself. So the hull itself, initially it was meant to be designed, it was going to... Now, when the hull was completed and it was wound by a company down in California, What happened then was, initially the company, OceanGate, they had said that they were going to be carrying out full non-destructive testing. So what's happened is the company decided, the owner and the engineering director, not to bother getting it inspected anymore. I voiced my concerns, as did several other people in the company. We received the end pieces after it was wound. Basically, it's end caps. They call it scrap, and basically what it is the end of the winding, and then they get a clean cut on it, and at that point everything should be fine. Now, I have been in contact with a composite failure analysis specialist who deals primarily with this stuff, and I have shown him the cut-off sections, photographs, and the actual sections, and he said himself, the sections are an absolute mess. You can see them, they're like Swiss cheese, so when you put a torch at the back of it, you can see all the way through. You can see all the delaminations where the resin has not been bonded properly. So I've obviously voiced this concern, and then during my termination interview, which I was told I was terminated for doing my job properly, I did ask about the non-destructive testing in my report, and I also asked on the day of my termination leaving why we were not doing it. And the CEO have decided that they can't get it inspected anymore. So I said, why not? And they said, nobody can do it. And I asked the question, well, Boeing can do it because we were call up to there. They got a wee bit, I'm not going to use any swear words on the recording, but basically they got very angry with me, and I said, okay, well, please be honest with me here. Have you exhausted all measures in saying that you can no longer get it tested because nobody can do it? And they both said no. So basically they haven't approached any other non-destructive testing companies to get it done. They have, well, it's basically shaped like a toilet roll tube, but it's a tube. And what they've done is, down to the depths that we were going to be going to. So I asked the question in the report, and the reply was, no, we don't need to do that. Now, once again, this is something that was told it was going to be getting done, and they've refused to do it. So basically, they have no baseline on the hull integrity. They have no baseline on the gluing, because if you have any voids on that glue, and that glue is not perfect all the way around, you get air pockets, you're going to get compression in there. That compression can lead to destruction of the carbon fibre underneath.
Okay.
Now, even if you've got metal on metal, that water pressure will find the least path of resistance to break its way into the hull. We have a solid hole either side where that water will actually come into the hull. Stockton, please stop me if I'm wrong here, but what is the problem? Are you hiding something from us here? The viewport has only been built and certified to 1,000 metres. Now, unfortunately, his ego and his cash flow have just went to his head. So the only person you'll be liable to is my wife.